Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the realized model Geno Saurer. This is the second model in the line and I decided to just skip ahead and do this one first. If you want to see an unboxing of the Blade Liger, Liz at Galactic Zoids has already done that one and I'll put the link in the description for you. Gives me a perfect excuse to do this one first because, well, you probably know why at this point. Anyway, since this is a completely new product line, we're not just going to do the usual unboxing and comparisons, I also filmed myself building the whole thing so that you can see how it goes together. Lots to check out here, so let's get started.
Robo Shop.
Alright, let's start with the box, obviously. First of all, we have this absolutely awesome box art here, done sort of in the style of the Monster Hunter collab models. Would I have preferred a Mercy Rabbit illustration? Sure, but, you know, it's not Kotobukiya, and this is certainly fantastic. The realized model logo here, Takara Tomy, of course. The T-Spark logo, it says here that this is a 1/100 scale action plastic kit. Different scale, of course. These are much smaller than the Zoids we're used to. It says here Genosaur, Tyrannosaurus type, and it's a little bit funny because this is the RMZ designation here, of course, the second one in the line, but it also still says EZ026 here, which is only... The only reason it's the number 26 is because it was the 26th release in the NJR, right? But this is now forever going to be the designation of the Genosaur. On the side here, we have a couple of close-ups. This says that it's actual size. It's also interesting that all of this is translated to English. It says here a colorful finish just by assembling, because this is its unpainted state. Meaning that we can see here, of course, you know, that all the parts are pre-molded in the correct colors. And then it says here, switch between mass-produced and dedicated machines. That's the two cannons here, and I unfortunately cannot remember what this distinction was in the anime. I'm sure one of you can tell me down in the comments. We have a Raven pilot figure, that I remember, or a common soldier. So I guess one of these is the Raven version, and one of them is the general version. I don't remember there being more than one Genosaur in the anime. It was Ravenzoid, right? Anyway, somebody correct me in the comments. I'm not going to rewatch all of Chaotic Century now to figure this out. Here says, each joint in the tail has a wide range of motion, allowing flexible posing up, down, left, and right. So yes, the tail is very posable. Legs can be closed or open, strike majestic Tyrannosaurus type poses. This must be some really wacky hip joints that the kit has here. I'll be real curious to see how this actually works. Here it says charged particle cannon effect parts included. That would be this clear ball here that looks like it's charging up the charged particle cannon. And of course it can do the pose, opening and closing fin gimmick, it says here. Here we also have firing effect parts included for the cannons. It's a little odd that these are just clear plastic. I mean, I'll be more than happy to paint these, but unusual. And finally, it says here that it says set up a compact display, build an army, and create your own Zoids world. I don't know, I guess they thought they needed a justification for this to be in a smaller scale, which, you know, if you're somebody like me with shelves that are completely overflowing, I'm sure you appreciate that. Here we have, as usual, you know, we have a cropped version of the box art and the name and everything again. Here we have some stills from the anime showing the Zoid's backstory, all translated into English here. Never seen that before, really cool. And here's the same thing again on the side. Now, let's get this baby out of the box. Just very quickly, I'm going to actually do a proper show of the individual sprues in a minute. So, got a couple of black sprues here for the armor. They have pre-painted sections. We'll look at that later. This is the effect part, pilots, a whole bunch of different things in this bag. We have a gray, well, 2 gray sprues. Purple, very purple. Yeah, I mean, this is accurate to the anime, I'm sure, but it's a little too bright and intense for my tastes. And these sort of warm gray pieces here, looks like weapons mostly. And on the bottom, we have the instructions. Now, let me get these sprues out of the backs real quick. Alrighty, let's start with these guys. We've got this that looks to be the Raven figure, and no, hold on, no, this is the regular pilot. This is the Raven figure. I'm going to do a size comparison later to an HMM pilot. I mean, this is supposed to be a smaller scale, but it doesn't really look smaller. A lot of nice detail here for something this tiny, I have to say. Up next, we have a black sprue with armor pieces. If you have ever built a Geno Saurer, this is going to look very familiar. Of course, a lot of nice detail here, panel lines, etc. And then we have another black sprue, panel lines, etc. Nothing too interesting here. Here's another one, leg armor, tail. What I actually wanted to show you guys is not this, more leg armor, but in fact this B, which has a bunch of armor pieces, and the head halves, and they are pre-painted. This looks really good. I gotta be honest, extremely well executed factory paint. Red on the eye, and silver here. But I'm not a huge fan of this. It's going to make it difficult to paint this thing. And also, of course, this really should be a clear part. Also, I don't think it actually comes with the clear part that goes over this for the extra Death Saurer-ness. Another thing probably worth pointing out in this unboxing is that the kit comes with 1, 2, 3 sets of polycaps, and some of these, like these here, look quite complex. Be interesting to see how this all goes together. This is sort of relatively standard stuff, but this one and another one, these are 2 identical ones. We've got this piece here, it's kind of an interesting shape. I wonder what that does. We have sprue for the caps, which are very they're very flat, not really the dimensions you'd expect. We have an entire sprue of red grills. And then here we have the effects pieces that are shown on the box. I must say, this is very nice clear plastic. It's not milky at all. Very transparent. Honestly, like, I think especially these 2 here. I'm not generally a huge fan of these kinds of effect parts, but they do look very nice for what they are. Then we have the two purple sprues here with, of course, all of the mechanical bits. Very nice detail, all very sharply molded. Also, just touching this, I'll be interested to see what it's like actually cutting and trimming this. Just touching it though, this seems like really good quality plastic and not the weird, soft, slightly porous plastic that Tomy or Takara Tomy usually uses for the motorized kits. Better quality plastic than the Advanced Z models, to be honest. And then we have, good news. These are the clear pieces that go on the head, of course. So, false alarm there. They are present. They are going to look nice. More purple. Very small, sharp pieces here. I can't remember where these go. And then next we have all these warm gray pieces. Detail parts for the weapons mostly. I already saw in the picture the weapons are, this is the weapon casings, so you can see here that each one of the guns, they're just sandwiched together, so I'm a bit concerned about seam lines here, but they do have molded details on the inside and on the outside. You might remember the motorized Geno Saurer cannons are basically one hollow piece of plastic, and they're a really nice gun design. I've always liked them. Teeth are molded in gray. Tubes, cannons, and then we have a dark gray sprue with pieces of, I'll be honest, I have no idea where any of this stuff goes. And finally, two more of the lighter gray sprues. This is kind of all the stuff that's, or a lot of it is stuff that's meant to be, could have, or let's say could have been silver. I'm actually totally okay with it not being silver. We have the claws here. This also goes on the feet, thrusters, and this sprue is here twice, of course. So just based on the unboxing, I would say the good news is all these grills are separate parts. Unless I missed something, there's no pre-painted red on the armor. You actually can paint these separately. For those of us who are interested in painting these kits, the only real issue here, obviously, is these headpieces, which are quite important because it's the head. So it's a little disappointing that they did it this way, but I mean, it does look good. You know, I'm just not a fan of pre-painted pieces in general, but if you're going to do it, then do it like this because it looks freaking cool. And yeah, that's the unboxing done. I am now going to build this, and I will hopefully be able to show you how some of it goes together. All right, let's start with the gimmicks. First of all, we have these two effects parts here that go on the cannons. They just plug on like that and look like this. And also we have this charged particle cannon charge up thing. And now the way you want to do that is, first of all, this is the cannon in retracted mode. And now you can just pull that off like so, and you can plug the other one in there. Now I'm not going to do this because I'm going to take pictures of this afterwards anyway, but this is this effect sort of sphere here, and it just plugs onto the cannon. Also, we can replace this cannon here at the top of the head, preferably without breaking it, like so. Let me wiggle this off of there. This needs to come off as well. And I have to say this feels a little bit precarious. There we go. And now this is the other cannon, and that just plugs on here like that. Now, the last thing that I want to show you guys is this is the Raven pilot figure. And it goes here in the cockpit where you would expect it to go, of course. And now what's really cool about this is, see if I can show this. This figure has a slot here on its back. And there is a tab inside the cockpit. Hopefully you guys can see this, it's probably out of focus. And so if I want to put the pilot inside the cockpit, I can actually just slot it in there like so. I heard a nice little click and boom, pilot doesn't fall out. And also I can close the cockpit, you know, I can wiggle the Zoid around and Raven is still sitting right where he belongs. If you have a motorized Geno Saurer, then you know why this is pretty awesome. Now, posability, of course, you know, the cannon rotates all the way around. Actually, it also can be moved up this far, and then they bump up against the mount here. Although I don't see why you would want to move them up any farther than that. I'm going to take these off because it's going to make the rest a little bit easier. The neck is articulated to bend sideways like so, and now I just bent the torso as well, so you can actually bend this all to look, it's about a 45-degree angle here. It goes up like that, and you can see here right behind the shoulders we have articulation as well, or all the way down like so. And I would really say like this joint here, it doesn't seem like much, but it's doing a lot of heavy lifting in terms of the posability of the Zoid. The arms move out like this and down like so. They are sitting on, you can see here, this polycap in there actually moves in and out to allow for a bit more articulation, so you can actually do this. Elbows don't rotate, but they do pivot up and down. The claws here are individually articulated, and the hands rotate, and the arm just came off. I'll put that back in there. Also, of course, on the legs, we have, first of all, like we saw on the box, they can pivot inward and outward, although honestly not that far, and this one actually doesn't slide in and out like the one on the arms. They can stretch all the way out like so. This armor piece also hinges a little bit, and of course the toes move individually, and on the back here we have this piece that allows you to do the proper braced charged particle cannon pose. Also here on the back of the legs, kind of tucked away, we have these flaps that we can move up that reveal the boosters, which can be pivoted up and down like so. Nice little detail. We have on the tail, it can bend this far horizontally and this far vertically, which is, I would say, about as far as you would want it to go. And of course it has these flaps here for the charged particle cannon pose that we can move up, and they have these handy dandy little fins here that allow you to actually move them up really easily and still look pretty cool. Now you can see here that I didn't assemble this tailpiece correctly, near as I can tell. I'm gonna have to take another look at that. This is gray in here, purple here, more gray here, so we've got all kinds of cool color separation going on. We've got fins on the bottom as well, of course, right here. And yeah, this is how you do the charged particle cannon pose. And that's it. On to comparisons.
First off, here's the real Geno Saurer. As you can see, it's a lot bigger due to the different scale and because the motorized Zoids just generally have bulkier proportions. What's kind of funny is that from the top you can see the two aren't actually that far apart in terms of length. The motorized one just has kind of a stumpy little tail. Here's the HMM, also much bigger but kind of similar in proportions, and I'd argue probably what the RMZ is based on. I'll be honest, this is probably still my favorite HMM kit of all time and the best looking version of the Geno Saurer, and the RMZ hasn't changed that. Although I will say, if you don't paint it, you can see the color separation on the cannons is much better on the RMZ. And also when I picked the HMM up for this photo, of course the chest almost exploded yet again, so there's that, I guess. Now, because this is 1/100th scale, I thought I'd also do a comparison to some Gunpla. Here's the Master Grade Mark II, which is in the same scale as the RMZ line and a relatively average sized model in that line. And here's the real grade version of the same mobile suit, which is 1/144th scale. Honestly, I kind of prefer how these two look next to each other. The Zoid looks kind of puny next to the Master Grade model. Also, here's the HG Grimoire. No real reason for this, but I built this one years ago and I'm pretty sure I never did anything with it except maybe put it on Instagram. And finally, it ain't a RoboShop Zoids review without a collection flex, so I had to do this one even if the information value is basically zero. Oh, and a look at the three different pilot figures here. Motorized on the left, HMM in the middle, and the RMZ Raven on the right. I don't know what I was thinking in the unboxing, these are clearly different scales. Now, here's a look at these effect parts. First, we've got the CPC charge-up one, and honestly, I'm sorry, but it looks like a lollipop. I kind of figured that's what I'd end up thinking, but it really looks like he's trying to swallow a lollipop and he somehow got it in backwards. These are much better though. I think they actually sort of convey dynamic movement and the details really crisp. I'm just not sure why they kept them completely clear. I mean, I could paint these to solve the problem, of course, and maybe I will, but as it is, it looks like he's squirting water out of those cannons. I'm sorry, and you can't unsee that either now. Now, in terms of the engineering and the general quality of this kit, I have to say I was really pleasantly surprised. The plastic did turn out to be very good quality. Not quite at the level of a Bandai kit, of course, but definitely better than Takara Tomi's motorized Zoids, with excellent parts fit throughout, basically no mold lines, and none of that weird porous surface texture either. It's also very sturdy, so if you're someone who's looking at these more as action figures you build yourself and you want to play with it a lot, it's the better choice than the HMM because basically nothing will fall off when you mess with it and it's balanced pretty well, so it's not difficult to get it to stand up. My only criticism as far as the engineering goes is the over-reliance on polycaps here. Almost every point of articulation is done with a polycap and a lot of them are under quite a bit of tension because they have to hold up a lot of weight. I guess we'll have to see how well these hold up over time, but that worries me a bit. As far as its appearance goes, the pictures can be a bit deceiving in my opinion. Because of the smaller scale, it appears less detailed because we're so used to looking at Zoids in 1/72nd scale, but it's actually very nicely detailed, and as you can hopefully see in the pictures, all of it is very sharp. There's also quite a bit of added color separation because of the grey armor pieces, which makes the kit look even more interesting. My other criticism, aside from the pre-painted head parts, is the price. This kit costs about 2/3 of the HMM, and as someone who's mostly interested in these as display pieces that I paint and then pose once, I'm not sure I necessarily think I'm getting 66% of an HMM Geno Saurer here. But like I said, you are getting a quality product, and if you want to pose and play with it a lot, it certainly is sturdier than the HMM and it poses just as well. So I guess it comes down to what you want out of the kit. Again, I'm definitely surprised by the quality of this, given that it's from a manufacturer that isn't generally known for top shelf quality posable snap fit kits. And it does clearly fill a separate niche from the HMM models, not just due to its size, but also because it's a relatively more simple build, and because once it's put together it works better as an action figure if that's what you're after. Well, and that's it for this one. I think I'm going to do the AZ Mulga next, and then we'll get to the Blade Liger, and honestly, by the time I've got those videos done, I'll probably have the next batch of RMZs in my hands already. Lots of Zoids content coming to the channel, so if you're a fan of Zoids and you're still not subscribed, honestly, what are you doing with your life? And while you're fixing that, don't forget to give the video a like and leave a comment. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.